Word up, YouTube. We are back with another video. Sorry it's been a while. I've had some changes in my life recently, and I haven't been able to come out and make some new videos. Anyway, I want to say thank you to my recent subscribers. Appreciate the subscription, and welcome to my channel. And those of you who are still watching my channel, thank you very much. Thank you for still being subscribed and everything. And I know I don't get out to get enough videos here on the internet for you guys to see things I'm up to and things I'm doing. But anyway, first update I want to say is that I upgraded a radio system, and I've got the Futaba 4PV. Now, I have not used this radio yet to drive anything on it. That is actually being reserved for this car, which I have not made a video on yet. Actually, I've got tires and wheels for this. I'm going to go to the carpet track, hopefully Sunday, to go race. And then the other car is this one here, my Yokomo YZ2. This is the original YZ2, not the DTM or the CA or whatnot. I just don't want to upgrade the car. I really like it how it is, so I just figure, well, I'll just leave it. In my last video, I mentioned I was going to do a video about a HPI product, if I'm not mistaken, and I have the product. However, that's not what this video is about right now. I've been meaning to get to that one, and like I said, I've just been short on time. Part of the reason is because I got a new job, and I'm currently working for one of the big three automakers. So, thumbs up to me, and I'm probably going to get a bunch of woos, you know. So, anyway, yeah, so that's what the latest and greatest is with me with that. Followed by this right here. What you're looking at is the 90, 91, maybe 92 era of the David Morris, no, I take that back, the Greg Holbrook era Equalizer. So we'll go into a ordeal here with this and how this was built, items I'm using. It's not finished yet. I do have some parts on order for it to get it finished up, because I got a couple of parts on here I'm still iffy on. So I'm going to get a couple of extra parts just in case to see if I like something even better. So anyway, all right, well, to top it off here, we have a J Concepts. It's a Chevy Silverado body. It's for the 11 inch wheelbase, 11 point some odd inch wheelbase. The graphics for this body I got from MCI Racing, and he's out of Canada. Next thing we'll go on to is the roll bar. It is a chrome roll bar from the Blackfoot Extreme, if I'm not mistaken. And what I had to do is I had to cut it down, because it actually was taller this way. So I cut it down to accommodate the height. I know the original Equalizer had the lights up here, and it was a single bar, but this is as close as I can get with the modern stuff that we currently have. So, other than that, on the outside here, we are running J Concepts Firestorm tires in a gold compound with their, I believe these are the Tribute wheels on this truck. So, alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to take the lid off so you guys can see underneath here and see what we're working with. Let me set this over here. Okay, what you're looking at here is an Axial AX10 chassis. I have Axial Yeti lower control arms, upper control arms, stock chassis plates. Well, I guess we'll get into some of the hop-ups here. Pro Line, Pro Spec shocks. The Curry anti-rock sway bars on the front and the rear, just like the shocks. The drive shafts here, these are MIP drive shafts for a Wraith, if I am not mistaken, and they'll work. It shouldn't be too much of an issue. Now, electronics I'm running in this, just a shorty LiPo 2-cell, because the closest local monster truck racing guys typically run a mod motors and speed controls on 2S LiPo. So I'm going to run the Mamba X. I'm going to be running Spectrum radio. Savox servo. I have not tried this out with these tires on this yet, so I don't know how well that's going to work, but I am going to run that at high voltage from this ESC since it can handle it. The gearbox is a Vanquish transmission housing with metal gears on the inside, all metal, and I have a metal spur or metal pinion with a plastic spur with the slipper clutch. And it does have the standard metal outdrives on it. Now if I flip it around here, I can show you the motor. The motor in there right there is a 6.5 turn Orion motor. That's apparently what the guys run at the monster truck races, and I plan on maybe giving it an attempt with this. Let me see what else we got here. Some things about the gearboxes and the axles I'm going to go in here and cover with you. Okay. This is the SSD gear cover, followed by the Vanquish axle support. Plastic axles. I have beef tubes in here with the Vanquish 5mm axles and Vanquish lockouts. A little tip with those is that the steel, and I'm assuming the brass are going to be the same way, the beef tubes that are in the axle are too thick as far as their diameter, so the Vanquish rear axles will not fit in there. Luckily for me, I've got some people I work with at my new employer who were able to machine the tube out a little bit to allow that axle to slide through on both sides. And then also with the Vanquish axles, they make the flat spots on the ends where they go into the differential here, they make them too long, and you got to shave about 60 thousandths off each shaft to get it to work in here. I am running the 4313 hardened gear set from Axial in here, and I am running RC four-wheel drive spider gears for a differential. I did take the lockers out because the racers said that they don't run lockers, they run straight diffs. So as you can see, I'll spin the tire here, and you can see it. Kind of hard to do this one-handed, but let's see here. See how I'm turning it. My little area over here is a mess, but so yeah, the whole axle system in this truck has been completely upgraded for strength and support. I think it'll hold for the most part. Same thing with the front. Now, the only thing different with the front, with the Vanquish axles, VVDs, is that they are again too long on the flat spots where they go in to the differential or locker, and they won't allow you to insert the C-hubs and knuckles in all the way. So on this one, I actually had to take off 70 thousandths of an inch off each side. This axle is running a beef tubes as well inside of it, which these ones don't have any issues fitting inside the beef tubes. You don't have to modify them for the front, only for the rear. Other than that, Vanquish knuckles and C-hubs, same thing, SSD aluminum diff cover, and the Vanquish axle brace here, and then obviously Vanquish, or who has that other company? It's Vanquish Incision. I think these are Incision stainless steel links. I don't think they're titanium. Other than that, I have not driven this truck yet. It's still a work in progress. I mean, hell, I haven't even glued the tires on it yet, as you can see. One thing I can say is that this truck has been a labor of love and pain. It's had its moments throughout this build, and it's almost done. As it stands right now, I just gotta mount the receiver, tidy up the wiring, and I'm going to look at those other parts. Now, I did order parts from a company off eBay from Australia, and it's the chassis braces that go here and here, the aluminum upper link mounts that go here and here, and then the bottom aluminum mount that goes here. Just things to kind of make the chassis not so twisty. The stock chassis is being plastic. It's a little on the flimsy side. It's not terrible, but it definitely needs some stiffening up. And unfortunately, I could not find those parts by Axial from anywhere in America. Nobody in America's got them. At least not that they're selling anyway. So those are probably going to take about 2 to 3 weeks to get here from Australia. So other than that, that is my build that I've been working on for the longest time. At the moment, I promise I will get to the venture eventually. When I get a minute, this truck has taken up a lot of my time. But overall, I'm very pleased with the build so far. Other than some of the machining that I've had to do, getting some of the aftermarket parts to work with each other. I've always wanted to build an Equalizer truck because in all the monster truck racing circles, Bigfoots and Gravediggers have all been done, and they've been done and done and done again. And I wanted to do one that you don't see every day, and this guy is it. Lastly, I just want to do a little trimming up here on the body and then the wheel well areas on it, and then there's a piece in the back here I want to make for it that more or less completes the actual look of the original Equalizer monster truck. If you guys want to see what the truck in its original form looked like, back in I think '89, David Morris drove the original Equalizer truck to the World Championships, and the truck was red. When David Morris left the Gary Cook operation, Gary Cook hired a gentleman by the name of Greg Holbrook to drive for him, and I don't know if he ever won the championship with the truck. I think at that point in time, I think Bigfoot 8 was the truck that was playing catch up. I don't know if I think he beat him in the finals, but I can't remember. And obviously, various iterations of the original Equalizer had changed from the blue and white. David Morris, I don't know if he bought the truck from Gary Cook at the time, but he still drove it that way. And then at some point in time, they changed the entire body to a 94 S10 or something with an extended cab. It had kind of a longer nose, and the wheel arches were really kind of cut out. But I've always wanted to do this particular body of it, and I think I'm really getting close to hitting the nail on the head. I do want to see if I can put a little figurine driver in the truck, in the cab, and then I also want to get the piece of Lexan to attach here in this area and make the actual sponsor plates for this truck. To kind of maybe I can get them to say the same thing, like I think it said something along the lines of special thanks to, and it had a bunch of names and stuff. I don't know. We'll see about putting something here right now. But anyway, there you go. That is what I would like to call my thing on the Equalizer. So I will say that if you're going to build one of these axial-based monster trucks, hopefully you have already invested a bunch of money into Vanquish parts and SSD parts. aftermarket axial parts for it, because some of the axial parts, like the chassis braces and stuff like that, are really, really getting hard to find now. They're pricey, but they are getting hard to find, and especially if you want to stiffen it up. Other places you could go is if you don't want to build it on an AX10 chassis like this one, you could build it on a chassis from a gentleman by the name of Crawford Performance Engineering. He's out of, I believe, New York. The Barbarian chassis, that was originally what I was going to go with. But then I decided, you know what? Let's go with this chassis here, because everything is still really dropped down low in it. The battery, it has, it's got some, it's got some potential, I think, as it sits. And on top of it, if you ever watched the monster trucks of the day, Equalizer was always kind of a low budget operation. The only time they actually sank money into the truck is when they absolutely had to. Everything else was kind of like jerry rigged, and so that would be not jury rigging this, of course, but kind of giving that appearance is like, okay, use kind of what you have type of thing. That's kind of what they did with the Equalizer. It was like, use what you had available. And well, right now that's kind of where we're at with it. So anyway, I hope you liked my truck. Here, I'll even flip it around with the body so you can see it on the other side too. Oh yeah, there's the rear, and you can see the body. I got to clean the body. It's dusty and whatnot. And there's the other side. There you go. So, anyway, now you guys got to see a project that I'm working on, and that is that. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will do my best to try to get out videos in a more timely fashion, but I can't make any guarantees because my new job takes up 8-10 hours of my day, 5 days a week, 1 week, and then usually 7 days the following week. So it's a work in progress, and I just try to get to it when I can. So anyways, enjoy, and if you do decide to build one of these, I think you'll enjoy it. Okay, have a good one, YouTube. Peace.